Boujeezz and Stylez back for another video, part number 4. 4, is it? Yeah, 4. And so then, yeah, so he's in that video. He's in the Carrie Underwood video. So what happened was I had my mom watch him while we went to Miami, Florida for the Carrie Underwood concert. And she agreed to watch him that night for me so that I could have my time with my son. After that night, I had him for 2 weeks. I had him for the 2 weeks until the Thursday after Valentine's Day. I can't exactly remember the dates of that, but because it's a holiday, anybody can really look that up and figure that part out. And it's in the text messages and stuff that you guys will see in the second half of these videos. I'm kind of like explaining everything up to the point where I actually filed things. I don't know if I'm going to include them in bits and pieces in the middle of this video, or if I'm going to do a voiceover to those files and explain what it is that you're looking at, and then you guys can read it for yourself. So this is going to be a long, long, long series, so just sit back, shut up, and enjoy it. I was debating whether or not I was even going to do this, because I feel like it's too soon to discuss some of this stuff, because this is nowhere near over, and I figure that anything that I say that may be slightly alleged, and the reason why I say slightly alleged, because I don't have the clearest recollection of some of this. I'm not going to lie. It's been an entire year. I have a very vivid memory of it when I'm seeing it on paper, which I have it on paper, most of this stuff. But a lot of this stuff is just common sense, so I'm just going based off of what I know that I did. And so, yeah, and so that whole thing, like, it's a lot to remember, guys. You just got to give me some break there, just give me some slack there. So, then, so, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. I legit forgot what oh, right. So so I had my mom watch him for that time, and she said, "Oh, I'm coming to get him. I'm coming to get him the week before." I said, "If you come the week before Valentine's Day, you're gonna be wasting your time because you ain't getting him." And I ended up telling her, "I'm going to block you until the day of, and I'm not playing with you. So if you show up, you're gonna look stupid." So she showed up anyways a week in advance, demanding that I give him back in my baby, and I can get him if I want to. And I said, "No, you're not going to interrupt my time with him. Like, get the fuck out of here. Get off my property. You have no business being here." And she's so, "What you mean I have no business? That's my baby. That's my baby." And I'm like, "No, bitch. He's my baby. That's number one. Number two is you never even wanted him. Number three is stop trying to act like mother of the year. You're the worst parent ever." And I just literally was just like, "Get the fuck out of here." So, um, yeah, and I was like, "No." And so she called the police, and she was sitting here crying to the police, and this is so funny. I thought because I'm a woman that women get priority, and we get full custody in Florida. That was the officer's face. That was the officer's face right there. And he was like, "Ma'am, who told you that? It doesn't work like that. Literally, who told you that? It don't work like that." And he said, "You need to leave. He does not have to give you the baby. That he's the father. He's the father. This is his time. He told you when to come pick the baby up. You decided to come early and expect him to bend or budge. He's not going to do that. They told me to go back inside and that they'd handle it, and that they'll wait for her to call her Uber so she could go ahead and leave." And I was watching from the window, taking pictures of all this. Hell, I should have recorded it, but I took pictures just to prove that she was leaving empty-handed. And so I have that picture, which you guys will see that picture. And yeah, so I was like, this bitch is crazy. So ever since then, when Valentine's Day was approaching that next week, when she left that next week, it was like 3 or 4 days until Valentine's Day. So she texted me every day, bothering me, harassing me about the baby. And I'm like, he is fucking fine. And so, whenever I said I like ran out of something, she was like, "Oh, so you're gonna return him to me? Because if you don't have what you need, then return him to me." I'm like, "No, you dumb bitch. I'm gonna go to the store and I'm gonna buy what I need. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?" And so, and I had went to Walmart and I was on the phone with her while I was at Walmart getting more formula that she eventually stole from me, um, and stuff like that. So then Uh, and I'm like, what you taking the formula to West Palm for? Talking about, oh, well, my family needs it for when they babysit him. I said, I don't give a fuck what those bastards need. I don't give a fuck what they need. Your mom's broke ass better go and pay for her own shit and make sure that she has a stock of her fucking own. Don't go taking the shit that the neighbors gave me, or the stuff that I went to go purchase with my money, and use it for them. I don't give a fuck what they need. They shouldn't even be around my kid. Every day they get to be around him is a fucking blessing, and they better be counting their lucky stars, because they'll never see him again once he's in my care. Period. And that's period. And I'm not taking that back, and I don't care how it sounds on camera. I have every right to say that I'm the dad. Y'all ain't nobody. You ain't even no relatives for real. So just please. So anyways, so um I was just like kind of like floored, like get the hell out off my line. And so um, Valentine's Day was approaching, and we were talking about it, and I said, "What are we gonna do for Valentine's Day? Like, what are we gonna do anything for Valentine's Day?" She had plans with her sister and her mom that she canceled because she came over to get dick down, and she always came over to get dick down. And I'm being a real. I told you it was gonna get juicy. I told you it was gonna get real, because I have no problem telling you that during all this time with her going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, I was smashing her all the time. We were having sex regularly. And so, um, when, when, um, when that conversation came up, I said, you need to come, because at the end of the day, we might be going through things and we might be separated, but I'm still your husband. So Valentine's Day, you need to choose me. I'm never a priority, and I told her that, and I remember telling her that vividly. I'm never a priority to you. Everything is always more important, and you need to come over here, and you need to be with your husband because it's Valentine's Day. Period. And then you can take CJ home after. And that's what I told her, because the plan was that she was going to spend the night, which she did. She spent 2 nights at my house, which her people can verify, because they did not see her and they did not hear from her, because I turned the phone off and I put them on the block list when she was in the house, so that she could not contact them unless I said that she could. Because what you're not going to do is interrupt my time with my family. Yes, I did that. Because you shouldn't even be blowing up her phone like that in the fucking first place. You are her mom, not her nigger. Period. So I was like, they really act like they're her nigga for real. And so then I said, it's okay, because when we when we get started doing the Valentine's thing, festivities, I'm gonna make sure that she tells them that whatever they had planned is not happening, and she's not coming home. And that's what she did. She told them, I'm not coming home, I'm staying here. They all mad and upset and carrying on, and oh, why are you doing that, and blah blah blah. And but at the same time, they knew that this is what she does. She plays both sides of the fence. She has always been like that. She will smile in your face. She will, oh yeah, fuck that nigga, and then let this nigga bend her over everything: the dresser, the bed, the bathroom sink, the tub, the couch, the other couch, up against the fridge, I had her 6 ways to Sunday all throughout that house for 3 days straight, or 2 days straight, or however long it was. And she was able to leave with him because we had a good talk. She said she wanted to do her phlebotomy course. This was February of 23. She wanted to start her phlebotomy course up there while we're separated, get some education, do her shit. But she was supposed to come home after her phlebotomy course. It was never supposed to get to this bad. It has gotten so bad to the point where we are now divorcing, and it's like we're done. So that's where things get interesting. So when I tried to get him back after that, like, when am I going to see my son again? Like 3 weeks later after that. So in the next month, this is January, February, March. So March, I asked. The next thing I know, she's trying to file a restraining order. I said, a restraining order for what? You can't get a restraining order from somebody that, A, you're not even seeing regularly. Like, before I saw her for Valentine's Day, I hadn't seen her for months before that. So what are you talking about? Getting a restraining order for what? You ain't getting no restraining order for nothing. So she filed an unfounded one with a whole bunch of lies and stuff. And I'm gonna go through that, and that's probably where I'm gonna start the video with the evidence is after I'm finished explaining all this. And so the restraining order was just a big old joke. I'm a drug and alcoholic and, all this stuff, and she was accusing me of substance abuse and hitting my child, and I'm like, he's a baby, what are you talking about? It just, all these outrageous lies. And she just was trying really, really hard, and that was all orchestrated by her mother. I don't know that for a fact, but I do know the behavior that I was seeing for years prior. So it has to be her, because she's the only idiot that would put stuff in there like that, and that would help her with such a thing, because she does not know the story. If she did, there wouldn't be all this drama. If she really knew what the fuck she was talking about when she was speaking of my name, when she put my name in her mouth, at least know what the fuck you talking about. And she did not know what the fuck she was talking about. So then, so that, that was a whole nother situation. So I feel like she was the one who kind of orchestrated that as a way to try to get me away from my child for 6 months or more, with a restraining order that was unfounded and totally failed. And so I got it, and she delayed it because she said, her representation was going to be out of town. And that was the first time that she tried to delay, like, a court case to, like, keep it for longer. And the reason why she delayed it, and this is rich, okay? So she found out she wasn't getting the temporary restraining order. So usually when you file a restraining order for protection, the temporary one is usually granted if it's founded under the right circumstances. So she used the court case from when I was arrested in the battery charge or whatever. She used that as a way to get the restraining order. But that situation, you filed that in March of 2023. January, February, March of 2023. That situation happened in 2022 of August. So the court has to believe, what the fuck were you doing from then past February of 2023 with the person that you are A, married to, B, have a kid by, and C, are currently living with on and off. And the court would have no way of knowing that you don't live with me full time, but they do know that we're married and there's no filed active separation. So how are you going to get a restraining order that way? You see how her brain doesn't work? She doesn't think through the steps. And that's why I'm thinking she can't be that stupid. There has to be another idiot, Renee, in the business feeding her bad advice to try and help her when really that's only making the situation worse. And so she was claiming things like, oh, I have 100% custody, when all she did in the paperwork was request that the baby stay with her during the second temporary restraining order, because the first one she totally disobeyed and she was with me the whole time. So that one, and that's what I told the judge when we got there, like, what? So she did that in March. We didn't go to the trial part of it until April 20th because she delayed it, and pushed it back because she realized that she was going to lose. She needed more time to find evidence, so she came up with this lame excuse about her counsel being out of town. So that's when she was delaying it, and I'm gonna show you all this documentation, guys. And so I was like, oh, how rich, So imagine me at this time, like, this is totally bogus. Like, I literally laughed my way to Cancun. It was so funny. I was cracking up, knee slapping all the way, because I was like, this is ridiculous. And so then everybody around me was like, when's the last time you even saw your wife? I'm like, when I was knees deep in her pussy on Valentine's Day, and the day after that, and the day after that. Make it make sense. You know what I mean? So I'm like, the last time I saw her, I literally kissed her goodbye, slapped her on the ass, and put her in an Uber with my kid in my car seat that she stole and never gave back. She never gave me my car seat back because she never gave me him back. And even when I asked for my stuff back, my backpack that carries him and the car seat, she would not give it back to me, even though it's mine and I paid for it. See what I mean? Actually, my mom paid for the stroller and car seat set, and she even requested it back. Nothing. So then, so from that point on, I was like, wow. So when it was dropped, we went there, and she dropped it. She threw that out. The judge was like, you're an active participant. She literally told her, you're an active participant. And I was telling the judge, like, she's keeping my child from me, like, this is ridiculous. The judge even told her, if you continue this behavior and go down this road of parental alienation, it's not going to look pretty for you. He is 50% parent, and you need to give him his allocated legal time with his child, period. It's not an order. I'm not telling you what to do. I am advising you as someone that knows the law. If you continue to fall down this rabbit hole, it won't be pretty. She was told that on April 20th. When she had been doing that from February 17th is when the big alienation started. But I still consider all the other ones from August when she moved out in 2022, because I only saw him for holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. All those other days, I never saw him. You see what I mean? So it counts. So I count all those individual days. So then I just got cut off altogether, and she would block every single number, every single email, everything that I had. Okay? She blocked everything. And I had such a hard time getting in touch with her and keeping her on the phone. When I did get a hold of her, she changed the pediatric associate's doctor behind my back to the West Palm office, and thought that I guess, I don't know, I wouldn't find out about it because she's an idiot. I was the last person to know. Something fell off a bookshelf or whatever and hit my son in the face, and he had to have stitches underneath his eye. And she tells me 5 days later. She doesn't even tell me when it happens. So she's committing danger, like, because she's not paying attention. And oh, well, he was wandering. What do you mean he was wandering? And you know when she tells me this? 2 days after I came to West Palm in the middle of the night to fuck her. She told me 2 days after that. because I was begging her when I was there in person, let me see my son. He's in the house, he's sleeping. That's why she told me to come at night, so she could use the excuse, he's sleeping and I don't want to wake him. When really the reason why she didn't want me to see him was because of the scar across his eye. She sent me the pictures with the scars across his eye. And I will put those in the video too. Because part 5, 6, and 7 with the documents, there might even be more than that out because there's a lot of documents. I will have the that portion with a voiceover, and I will include those documents, and I will include those pictures, and I will show you. So this whole time, I haven't seen my kid. I don't know what he looks like. I don't know what's going on. His birthday was on June 24th, obviously. It is July 17th, 2 days away from my birthday, July 20th. I missed him for his birthday. He turned 1 year old. Didn't get a phone call. Didn't see him. He's walking. I missed his first steps. He's talking. Missed his first words. If you think this is okay, there's something seriously wrong with you. Real talk. And this pains me